Now that you have taken away those little foxes, filling the vacuum.
Maker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you.
Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Oginwadiliora. This channel is all about dreaming again. When dream don't come to pass, what do? You dream again. Today we'll be discussing on filling the vacuum. This video is sequel to my last video, which was titled Remove the Little Foxes. So if not watched that video, I will encourage you to watch it so that you know where we stopped last time and you're able to catch up. I've attached the link to the description box below. Like I said earlier, today we'll be looking at filling in the vacuum. In the last video, just to summarize, I talked about removing the little foxes, the things that destroys our relationship. And we saw some of these things in the book of Galatians chapter 5 from verse 19 to 21. So we talked about removing those little foxes. And if we remove them, then there's an empty space. There's a vacuum which needs to be filled. And life is designed in such a way that there's no room for vacuum. There's not supposed to be vacuum in any aspect of our lives. So I say, if we remove the little foxes, what are we supposed to fill that space where we took the little foxes away from? Because if we don't fill those space, something else will occupy that vacuum. It might be something visible or invisible. So we need to fill that space with some things to prevent those little foxes from coming back. Have you read about that place in the Bible where Jesus talked about casting out a demon? He said if you cast out a demon, it goes away. But after some time, it comes back to its previous house. And he said if it comes back and the house is clean and swept, without anything occupying it, what will he do? He goes out now and gets 7 more demons. And they now come back into that original house. And what happens? The state of the person becomes worse than what it was in the initial state. So if you leave a particular space, there are things that are available to occupy it. Those foxes will come back. By default, human nature is meant to display those characteristics we saw in Galatians chapter 5, verse 19 to 21. As you grow up, envy, jealousy, anger, they begin to spring up. But how are you going to fill them now after removing them, like we discussed in the previous video? What will we fill this vacuum with now? We use Galatians chapter 5, verse 22 and 23 to fill them up. It says, but the Holy Spirit produces this kind of fruit in our lives: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. There is no law against these things. Wherever these fruits of the Spirit are manifesting, the relationship will be wonderful. Who doesn't enjoy kindness? Who doesn't love to be loved? Who doesn't love to be treated fairly? So these are the things that the Bible says use it to fill the gap. It's impossible for a natural man to please God. The fallen human nature can't please God. And we know from birth, we inherited that fallen nature. And as we get born again, I say let's allow the Holy Spirit to produce this fruit, which means it's a conscious effort. It doesn't just spring up on its own, no. We have to consciously walk in them. Someone will make you angry. And when you're angry, what do? The natural response is to attack the person back. Because the Holy Spirit lives in you, it will tell you not to retaliate. Though naturally you want to retaliate, but whose voice will you listen to now? It comes to that place where we give the Holy Spirit control of our lives. Where we submit. Remember, submission is power brought under control. It's not something you are forced to do, but something you willingly give up. So whether it's convenient or not, I'm going to walk according to the plan and purpose of God. I'm going to follow the leading of the Spirit. So despite the fact that your flesh will tell you to act otherwise, You will still stay and say, no, I will listen to the voice of God. Now say it's a conscious effort. Fill that vacuum with this fruit of the Spirit. Let it germinate. Let the Holy Spirit in us bear fruit. As for the Holy Spirit, He's ready to bear fruit in us. But are we going to allow Him? By submitting, by obeying the voice of the Lord. Don't let that vacuum continue. Fill it with something. Decide today to submit to the Holy Spirit. It's a process. It's not a day's job. Like I say, by nature, we are wired to live according to the flesh. What the flesh desires is in conflict to what the Spirit desires. But it's left for us to say, who will be my master? Who will I submit to? Are you submitting to God? In 2 Peter chapter 1 verse 5, it said, make every effort. You have to work at it. Don't give room for the devil. Don't say, I've removed the little foxes. I will stop being jealous. I will stop being hateful. I will stop doing whatever does not glorify God. Start doing the things that glorify God. That is way to win the battle. Fill that vacuum. Don't give room for those foxes to return again. It's a conscious effort. It's a process. But one step at a time. Make every effort. Whatever it will cost you, put it into action. If you fall, you rise up. Don't remain down. But every day, make sure you take a step. Work towards love. Work towards patience. Work towards joy. Towards living at peace with everyone as much as it lies on you. It is doable. That is why the Holy Spirit is there to help us. God can't ask us to do something that He didn't give us the ability to do. He can't ask us to do something that He knows that is impossible for us to do. So if He said do it, it means it's possible. Therefore, fill this vacuum and enjoy a wonderful and great relationship. I am grateful that you joined me today. Do have a great day until next time.